on the field. The National and American League All Star reserves are lining up down their respective baselines. They'll be announced, and you will hear the starting announcements of the starting lineup coming up from Joe Buck. But Terry Collins, great story. He's the manager for the National League All Stars. Of course, all the years managing in the minor leagues in Japan, got to the majors, finally got to the World Series. That means he gets to manage the National League All Stars, and he spoke with our John Shambi.
Here with the skipper of the National League, Terry Collins, and your first chance here to manage the All-Star team. What's the experience been like so far?
Well, it's been an absolute thrill. It's to get here is a tremendous challenge, and it was worth every minute of it. But to sit there and look around that room at those bodies that are sitting in front of you, it's pretty cool to think that you're the manager of the greatest players in the world.
What's it like to interact with some of these guys that you may have a perception of playing against them, and now you're up close?
Well, their self-confidence is off the charts. They truly believe in what they can do and how they go about doing it. And, you're sitting and watching an All-Star game where guys get downtime, and the batting cages are just as busy as they are in a regular season game. They're not taking anything for granted. And that's, and you take that kind of work ethic and you put it with the talent, that's why they're great.
What about advice? Anybody that you turn to before managing this game?
Oh, yeah. I talked to my buddy Jim Whelan a lot and got a very, very good sense of how to go about it, how hard it's going to be to pick the team. And he's right. There were a lot of people who are not here who are deserving to be here. But, you got to you can only take so many, and so you got to get yourself ready, but you got to pre-plan. You got to pre-plan the game as if you know exactly what's going to happen throughout the game, because there's just too many important things going on. You really can't run it. There's not a lot of hitting and running and anything else, but it's a matter of making sure these guys all get in.
Yeah, there's an element of it, in basketball or whatever, they talk about something that happens at the end of the game, that the coaching that took place happened months before. For this one, you probably did most of your managing even before this game ever started.
Right. Because, first of all, the other team, you know who's going to start the game for a couple innings, but then it's, one great one after another coming in there. So to mix and match your lineup to try to fit it, they're only going to be in there for an inning, so it's a little different. But, it's like I told the coaches the other day in our meeting. We were talking about the lineup. I said, guys, these are the best players in the game. Put them in a hat. You can't mess up the lineup.
Good luck. Good to see you.
Thanks, John.
Terry Collins, the Mets manager, managing the National League with our John Shambi, who'll have the call of this 87th MLB All Star Game with Chris Singleton. Coming up in a bit alongside Tim Kirkchin, Peter Pasquarelli, I'm Mark Kestisher. We're on the field baseball tonight here on ESPN Radio from Petco Park. We're 25 minutes from first pitch. They are rolling through the National League All Star reserves right now down the third baseline. Guys, time for your bold second half predictions. Tim, going to start with you. Got one coming out of the American League Central for me.
Yeah, this is bold, but I've got the Indians going to the World Series. I think it's time to change the subject in Cleveland again. The Cavaliers have won it all. I saw the Indians on July the 4th, and I left thinking, like everybody else, their starting pitching is great. If they can keep it healthy and add another bat at the deadline, I think they're good enough in a winnable American League to get to the World Series.
So instead of 1964, which was the call till the Cavaliers, 1948, maybe ending that jinx for the Cleveland Indians.
Right, 48, so reminiscent of Bob Feller and the rest.
Peter, you got one for me with the Dodgers and the Yankees, two big money, big market teams.
Combined, they're paying around $500 million to Major League players this year, and I don't think either of them are going to make the playoffs. I think both will fall short in a massive waste of money, and they just don't have enough going for them. The Yankees' starting rotation's a mess. It's been a mess all year. I just lost my train of thought for a second there, but you understand why. And then secondly, the Dodgers, if you look at them on an everyday basis, their lineup just doesn't stick out to you. And I don't think they're a good enough club. Their starting pitching behind Kershaw averages barely 5 innings a start. That doesn't stand to improve as the season goes along. They're not going to catch the Giants. So I think the two very expensive teams are going to be watching in October.
Meanwhile, they just wrapped up the National League. Those boos you heard every time a Dodger or a Giant was announced here in San Diego. Tim, Big Papi, we've talked about him a lot in this broadcast. His final season, you got full prediction for David Ortiz?
Well, I've got him hitting 60 doubles, which is not exactly a milestone, but nobody hits 60 doubles anymore. I've done the research on this. Guys like Biggio and Todd Helton come awfully close and then mysteriously end up short of 60 doubles. I'm saying Ortiz does it banging that monster the rest of the year like he has the first half. He's not just a home run hitter. He's in for this ridiculously high average and has over 30 doubles already.
And that American League East wide open, just a 2-game separation. Baltimore, Boston, Toronto. Peter, you got a Cleveland bold prediction, not just they're going to the World Series, but who you think they're going to face?
Well, I think they're going to face the Giants. And, you know, probably the sexy series would be them against the Cubs. You know, two teams that haven't won in, you know, many, many years. But I really think the Giants are staged to make a run. It's an even year, and you know, it's their time to go. I think they have an outstanding club that's going to get better in the second half. But my prediction is beyond it being a Giant Indian World Series. I have the Indians winning it all.
Wow.
Tito in a parade, which should be something for all to see.
Hey, they got the right manager for the job, right? And the guy who's been through it before, that's going to come in handy for them coming down the stretch here. The American League reserves, Cole Hamels being introduced right now, the San Diego kid. So he returns, of course, pitched for the Phillies and now with the Rangers. That's a big test case as well. We're getting toward the end of the reserves here, so I won't put you on the spot to see if Texas will hang on in the American League West. They were horrible into the break, but of course they're going to get their big-name pitchers. 3/5 of their starting rotation has decimated that club. They hope to get Yu Darvish off the disabled list as we begin the second half on Friday or shortly thereafter. So the reserves have been announced. They're lined up, the National League along the third baseline, the American League along the first baseline. We're going to turn it over to Joe Buck. Here are the announcements for the National and American League starters.
Major League Baseball's Play Ball Initiative and MasterCard's All-Star Youth Ambassadors Program. For every fan watching live, this year's All-Star Game will be an amazing experience, but for 22 of them, MasterCard is truly making it priceless. Now let's meet the National League manager and starting lineup. The manager from the 2015 National League champion New York Mets, Terry Collins. Leading off and playing second base from the Chicago Cubs, Ben Zobrist. Batting second, the right fielder from the Washington Nationals, Bryce Harper. Batting third, playing third base from the Chicago Cubs, Chris Bryant. All right, San Diego, batting cleanup, the designated hitter from your San Diego Padres, Will Myers. Batting fifth, the catcher from the San Francisco Giants. Out in the bullpen, Buster Posey. Batting sixth and playing first base from the Chicago Cubs, Anthony Rizzo. Batting seventh and playing center field from the Miami Marlins, Marcell Ozuna. Batting eighth, the left fielder from the Colorado Rockies, Carlos Gonzalez. And batting ninth, the shortstop from the Chicago Cubs, Addison Russell. And the starting pitcher warming up in the bullpen from the San Francisco Giants, Johnny Cueto. And now let's meet the American League manager and starting lineup. The manager from the 2015 World Series champion Kansas City Royals, Ned Yost. Leading off and playing second base from the Houston Astros, Jose Altuve. Batting second, the center fielder from the Los Angeles Angels, Mike Trout. Batting third and playing third base from the Baltimore Orioles, Manny Machado. Batting fourth, the designated hitter from the Boston Red Sox, Poppy David Ortiz. Batting fifth and playing shortstop from the Boston Red Sox, Xander Bogaerts. Batting sixth, the first baseman from the Kansas City Royals, Eric Hosmer. Batting seventh and playing right field from the Boston Red Sox, Mookie Betts. Batting eighth and catching from the Kansas City Royals, Salvador Perez. And batting ninth and playing left field from the Boston Red Sox, Jackie Bradley Jr. The starting pitcher warming up in the bullpen from the Chicago White Sox, Chris Sale. Ladies and gentlemen, your 2016 National League and American League All-Stars.
Very cool. Here at Petco Park, Mark Kestisher, Tim Kirkchin, Peter Pasquarelli on the field. Rachel Platten about to sing the U.S. National Anthem. Back to Joe Buck, introducing.
With the singing of our national anthem, please welcome multi-platinum international pop star Rachel Platten.
Can you see by the dawn's early light what so proudly we hailed at the twilight's last gleaming, whose broad stripes and bright stars through the perilous fight, nor the ramparts we watched were so gallantly streaming, and the rocket's red glare, the bombs bursting in air, gave proof through the night that our flag was still there. No, say does that star-spangled banner yet wave o'er the land of the free and the home of the brave.
Rachel Platten with our national anthem and the 3rd Marine Aircraft Wing right now holding the large American flag from the left field Star Game here on ESPN Radio. Dick Enberg, Hall of Fame broadcaster, setting up at a lectern downstairs. But first, upstairs, let's go up to Joe Buck.
Beautiful night. When you come to an All-Star Game, you are surrounded by Hall of Famers. Right now, we head down to the field for a special ceremony. Ladies and gentlemen, please welcome the Hall of Famer, San Diego's very own Dick Enberg.
Ladies and gentlemen, this is a distinct honor. The All-Star Game here in San Diego is the perfect backdrop for Major League Baseball to celebrate 2 of the game's all-time great hitters with an historic announcement. Would you please turn your attention to the video board?
Rod Carew was a true magician with the bat. A Hall of Fame career spanning 19 years with the Twins and Angels. The 1967 AL Rookie of the Year. The 1977 AL Most Valuable Player. An 18-time All-Star. And a member of the 3,000 Hit Club. A career 300 hitter and 7-time American League batting champion. Rod Carew is still regarded as one of baseball's purest all-time hitters.
Fans are getting up on their feet. Rod Carew in the crowd. The big video board showing him
on the field by the Commissioner of Baseball, Rob Manfred, who has named the annual American League Batting Championship in honor of the 7-time batting champion, Hall of Famer Rod Carew. The player with the highest batting average in the American League will now be known as the Rod Carew American League Batting Champion. Ladies and gentlemen, please welcome to the field Rod Carew and his family.
Rod Carew shaking hands with the commissioner, Rob Manfred. And we've already got what the trophies will look like for the Carew Award.
League. And now the National League. And San Diego, I think you're going to like this one. Please check out the video board.
Over the course of a 20-year Hall of Fame career, exclusively in San Diego, Tony Gwynn was the model of consistency, never hitting below .309. He was a 15-time All-Star, 7-time Silver Slugger Award winner, and ranks 18th on the all-time hit list. In 1984, en route to winning his first of 8 National League batting titles, he led the Padres to their first ever World Series. His jersey number 19 was retired in 2004. Tony Gwynn, the prodigal son of San Diego, and one of the greatest hitters there ever was.
And a big cheer as they show on the video board the statue outside of Tony Gwynn. Back to Dick Enberg.
Named the National League Batting Championship in honor of our very own 8-time batting champion, Hall of Famer, Tony Gwynn, Mr. Padre. The player with the highest batting average in the National League will forever be known as the Tony Gwynn National League Batting Champion. Ladies and gentlemen, please welcome to the field the Gwynn family.
His widow Alicia, kids Tony Jr., played in the big leagues. Anisha, his daughter.
Oh my. Commissioner Manfred has given both families a beautiful replica of these new awards. Fans, let's hear it one more time for two of the greatest hitters in the history of baseball, Rod Carew and Tony Gwynn.
Dick Enberg making that announcement. Guys, how fitting. Obviously, sad we couldn't have Tony here with us, but Tony Gwynn's name, Rod Carew, will live on with this hitting award.
And they were similar hitters, and they had an approach different than anybody who plays today.
Right now, a photo being taken out just in front, in between the plate and the mound. Pretty cool start to the ceremony here.
Roll and you winning, and we see perhaps the Giants, perhaps the Cubs. On the flip side, Chris Sale going. He's going to let it all hang out. First opportunity for him to start an All-Star game. And I like, as I was saying, how they can shut the door with those arms at the back end of the bullpen, whether it's a Betances, it's a Chapman, or Herrera. American League's got some good things going.
Those are tonight's Home Depot keys to the game. More saving, more doing. Cool moment down at home plate as the lineup cards were exchanged. The skipper of the National League, Terry Collins, bringing out the lineup card for the NL, for the AL. David Ortiz bringing out the lineup card. And how could you miss him as he came out? And, of course, even though we're playing in a National League city, it is the American League's home game. And so the American League wearing the home whites and coming out of the home dugout. That is the first base side dugout. Now, down there at home plate, our umpiring crew, Mike Winters, he is the crew chief. He'll have the balls and the strikes. Kerwin Danley at first, Marty Foster at second, Bill Wilkie at third, Adrian Johnson down the left field line, Dan Bolino down the right field line. Back to our first base umpire, Kerwin Danley. He is making his second All-Star appearance, but really more noteworthy the fact that Kerwin Danley, back here in San Diego, he was a teammate of the late Tony Gwynn at San Diego State. So he gets a chance to umpire here in his hometown at the 2016 All-Star Game. So congratulations to Kerwin. The umpires continue to meet down around home plate. A gorgeous night, not a cloud in the sky. Had the flyover and the introductions, and everything has gone marvelously so far. As we get ready for the American League to take the field, let's give you our starting lineups. They're brought to you by T-Mobile. T-Mobile is changing the game for good. Go to T-Mobile.com/MLB to see how. And here we go first for the National League. Terry Collins will have Ben Zobrist to lead things off, and he'll play second base. Batting second, it's Bryce Harper of the Washington Nationals. He's in right field. Chris Bryant hits third, and he'll play third base. Will Myers of the Padres is the DH, and he'll clean it up. Buster Posey of the Giants will do the catching, batting fifth. The Cubs' Anthony Rizzo is the first baseman. He'll hit sixth. Marcell Ozuna hits in the seventh spot. He'll play center field. In the eighth spot, the Rockies, Carlos Gonzalez, and Cargo is in left field. Batting ninth, it's the shortstop, Addison Russell. Johnny Cueto starts on the mound for the National League. Meanwhile, for the AL side, Jose Altuve of the Astros leads off at second base. Batting second, it's the center fielder of the Angels, Mike Trout. The third baseman is Manny Machado. He will hit in the third spot. David Ortiz is the DH. And the Red Sox Big Papi will clean it up. Xander Bogaerts of the Red Sox plays shortstop, and he will bat fifth. Eric Hosmer, his first All-Star appearance. He'll bat in the sixth spot, play first base. Mookie Betts of the Red Sox in right field will bat seventh. Salvador Perez will hit eighth. He'll do the catching, and Jackie Bradley Jr. is in left field. He will hit ninth. The Red Sox outstanding outfielder, having a great first half. And on the mound, it's the southpaw Chris Sale, 6'6", 180. And a guy who has put up great numbers. Again, he's 14-3, a 3.38 ERA, 18 first half starts, 123 strikeouts in 125 innings of work. And Chris, he's a guy that I don't know if he comes to the front of everyone's mind when you talk about the best starters in the game, but this is his fifth straight All-Star appearance. He is among the best starters in all of baseball.
There's no question about it. And what's unfortunate is there was at least 1 year where he got in the All-Star game by final vote. And it's just his numbers and performance year in and year out has qualified him for this game. And when you see on the south side of Chicago with so much attention on the north side and what the Cubs are doing, a guy leading the league in wins, you have to stop and take notice and say, there's something special. And with all the attention on the Cubs, let's take a moment tonight and give a good look at Chris Sale.
So Sale getting ready to pitch. The season ago, 274 strikeouts for Chris Sale in 208 and 2/3 innings. So the American League out on the field, and we get ready to go as Ben Zobrist, the switch hitter, climbs in on that right side. Sale working up the third base edge of the rubber. And here we are. Sale fires. And the first pitch of the game missing low. And it is ball one. So Chicago against Chicago to start things off. Ben Zobrist, great first half at 283, 13 homers, 47 knocked in. The 1-0 is hit in the air softly left center field. Bradley and Trout. It'll be Jackie Bradley Jr. to make the catch. One up and one down. Our time and temperature brought to you by Carrier. Carrier home cooling systems offer reliable solutions that use less energy. Turn to the experts. 1-800-CARRIER or carrier.com. First pitch 5:21 local time. And our current temperature at 68 degrees.
Well, Mike Trout, he's a Grizzly vet when it comes to these All-Star games. And I think right there, a ball that he could have caught easily, he laid back, let Jackie Bradley in his first All-Star appearance go ahead and get his first touch.
First offering to Harper is a broken bat roller. Right side, Altuve picks it up, tossed to first. And just like that, Bryce Harper is retired. So Sale making quick work of the first two hitters. And Harper is going to need a new bat the next time he comes up. Two away, bases empty. Just getting started here, the 2016 All-Star Game. And here is Chris Bryant. Of course, Bryant, who grew up in Las Vegas with Bryce Harper, but attended college here in San Diego at the University of San Diego. Sale to the plate. Swing and a high fly ball. Well hit left field. Way back there. Out of here. Chris Bryant back in San Diego. It sure feels like home. And the away team takes a 1-0 lead.
Chris Bryant wasting no time at all, jumping on that first pitch fastball, coming into that at bat 0 for 6 against Chris Sale. And Chris Bryant breaks that over with a huge one.
Bryant getting all over that. Chris Bryant with 25 homers in the first half. The season ago, he hit 26, so he's having a tremendous year. So it is 1-0, the National League. And a pitch to Will Myers, who got a nice hand, a little high. The pitch is fouled back, out of play.
There's no other plan these National League batters have other than to pick out something fairly straight, because nothing's truly straight out of the hand of Chris Sale, and swing as hard as you can.
The 1-1 is inside. Will Myers with 19 homers at the break, his first All-Star appearance. Sale deals. Swinging a foul, pushed off to the right, out of play. 96 with that fastball. You said Chris Sale told us he was going to let it eat. He did right there.
Yeah, that started to eat on the hands of Will Myers, who's got the old school approach. No batting gloves, just stepped out, rubbed a little dirt on the hands to get some grip.
The 2-2. Swing and a miss. Struck him out. It is Johnny Cueto to start. Cueto 13-1 at 2.47 ERA. 18 starts. In the first half, 131 and a third innings and 115 strikeouts. All right, so we've lauded Chris Sale, but did you know that since the start of 2011, only Clayton Kershaw has a better ERA among starting pitchers than this guy? He has been rock solid, and that probably doesn't even paint an accurate picture.
No, it doesn't, because no one has had a tougher home park to pitch in during that time than Johnny Cueto, spending basically his entire career up until last year being traded in Cincinnati Great American Ballpark. Tough pitcher's park.
Here's Altuve to dig in. Little right-handed hitter. Cueto delivers. Swing and a ball popped up. Right side. Zobrist and Rizzo. Zobrist makes the call. Wandering out to the outfield grass, and he makes a two-handed catch. So Jose Altuve wearing those bright fluorescent orange high top spikes. Taking a whack at the first pitch. And pops out to shallow right field, and the second baseman Ben Zobrist. 1 up, 1 down, and here comes Mike Trout. 1-0 National League on top. As we are here in the bottom of the first, Chris Bryant, a solo homer. Got Mike Trout, the MVP of the last 2 All-Star games. Cueto pumps in a strike. And a count 0-1. Johnny Cueto, who will twist and turn and quick pitch. Trout waits deep in the right side box. Here comes. Inside. And that one at 92. An extra long pause from Cueto's. Got those dreadlocks spilling out from underneath his cap.
Yeah, he doubled up on the pause there. I think Mike Trout couldn't help but laugh.
The 1-1 clips the outside corner, 1-2. And just like that, he comes back with the ultra quick release. The 1-2 inside.
Man, there's a great note I wanted to share with you, partner. That's on Mike Trout. He's already hit for the All-Star Game cycle. Single in his first at bat in 2012, a double in 2013, a triple in 2014, and a homer in 2015.
The 2-2 is hit on the ground softly towards third, but foul. Well, I appreciate you bringing that to my attention. You know me, and I do love the cycle. I finally got to use the line that I stole from one of our Twitter followers about being a triple shy of the cycle. It's like being 2 numbers shy of the Powerball. Here's a 2-2. Swing and a line drive and a base hit into center field. So he's working on another cycle. Mike Trout with a 1-out hit. So the Midsummer Classic continues to be to his liking. Last year started things off with a home run the opposite way off of Zach Greinke. And won his second straight All-Star Game most valuable play.
Well, I'd say for me the most impressive thing outside of his talent and ability is the way that he goes about his business. Just seeing him today in the clubhouse this afternoon, had a lot of responsibilities before getting in there. You could tell he was sweating, but still had a big smile on his face, took time to say hello to everybody.
They're over to first, and Trout back in. Mike Trout back to the speed game. Last year it dropped off a bit, but this year he's stolen 15 of 16. The pitch to Machado. And Manny swings and lifts one to shallow left. Coming on Carlos Gonzalez with those lime green spikes, and he makes the catch.
It seems like Johnny Cueto's got some good late movement, because even the base hit Mike Trout had up the middle that was down towards the label, not off the sweet spot of the barrel. And the same goes right there for Manny Machado. Just got in on him.
So Big Papi will make his way into the batter's box with 2 outs and a man at first. 1-0. The NL on top of the AL. Ortiz facing Cueto. Trout at first. The pitch. Swing and a foul pushed off to the left, out of play. They play with 3 fielders to the right of second. It feels like I'm doing a Cubs game. Addison Russell remains on the left side of the infield. And it goes Zobrist, Bryant, and Rizzo in that triangle defense to the right of second base. So the outfield left to right, Gonzalez, Ozuna, and Harper. Throw to first, Trout back in. I still want there to be a meeting on the mound just with the infielders, just so it's Posey and Cueto, and then the 4 Cubs come over, kind of like, hey, what's going on over here? What are you guys talking about?
Yeah, it's a brawl in the making. These 2 teams will probably meet in the postseason.
Next offering is in for a strike to David Ortiz. Mike Winters, our plate umpire. 0-2 to Big Papi, who leads the majors at the All-Star break with 57 extra base hits. He is the oldest player in the history of the game to lead the majors in extra base hits at the break. Next pitch down and in. And the count is 1-2. A 10-time All-Star. Also leading the majors in OPS. So whether you think so or not that he's the MVP, he's in the discussion. He's put up arguably the best offensive first half of any hitter. It's been astounding to watch. And again, 3 fielders on the right side. 1-2. The pitch outside high. 2-2.
Oh, you were talking about the Cubs infield, Boog, and great note from Elias today of 4 Cubs starting on the infield. They joined the 1963 Cardinals as the only teams in MLB history to start all 4 infielders in the All Star Game. And what a sight when they do all come together. You see 2 very strong organizations right now. Giants have been strong for a while. Theo Epstein and his management group have done an exceptional job over the last few years, really getting good talent, drafting well.
The 2-2 is popped in the air, foul off first. Bryant over near the stands. It'll drop out of play about 5 rows deep. Rizzo over there as well.
The right free agent acquisitions and Jason Hayward, Ben Zobrist, Dexter Fowler coming back. And oh, by the way, left-hander named John Lester.
Next offering foul back our way out of play. And the count is 2-2. John Shambi, Chris Singleton, a packed house on a spectacular night at Petco Park in San Diego, the 87th MLB All Star Game. Cueto fires. Swinging a foul back to the screen. Good little battle right here.
That little laugh, Johnny Cueto. He said, man, I cannot put David Ortiz away. And I remember about 5 years ago, when we thought David Ortiz's career was over.
Yep.
Fastballs that weren't even upper 90s fastball, lower 90s fastballs, he couldn't get on top of.
The 2-2. Swing and a line drive. 1-hop to first. Backhanded strikeout. But Chris Bryant takes him deep. And now the right-hander from Cleveland is on 9-8, a 3.61 ERA, 18 starts. And part of that Indian staff as he deals to Buster Posey. Ground ball up the middle. It ricochets off Kluber. Out to Altuve, who picks it up and throws to first. And Buster Posey is out.
Getting ready. These All-Stars are coming out of the gate swinging, and rightfully so. When you know you're facing the best arms in the game who have great control, pinpoint command, there's no point of waiting and trying to work the count. And Corey Kluber wasn't quite ready for the PFP, but fortunately he was able to get the glove up enough where he deflected it and kept it from hitting him in the face.
So here's Anthony Rizzo, and they'll play 3 fielders on the right side of second. A pitch, and that's a little high. Ball 1, no strikes to Rizzo. His 3rd All-Star appearance. He had a stretch in around May where he was really scuffling, and we saw the Cubs a bunch, but man, did he finish hot. Next pitch outside, 2-0. Rizzo, 3rd in the majors in OPS at the All-Star break. National League up 1-0. Kluber delivers. Swing and a liner, foul right side, lookout. That ricochets in and then out of the stands down that first baseline. And Eric Hosmer will retrieve it and toss it back to the fans. That was a screamer.
Well, he doesn't have real complicated mechanics, Anthony Rizzo. He gets on top of the plate and gets ready to turn and burn.
The 2-1 is hit softly foul, third base side.
Former Padre, Anthony Rizzo. Corey Kluber, former Padre, traded as a minor leaguer to the Cleveland Indians. So both these guys back where they spent a little time in terms of the organization, at least.
The pitch. Swinging a ground ball to first. Backhanded near the line. It's Hosmer. He'll race to first. Step on the bag. And Rizzo is out. 3 unassisted. 2 away. And it'll bring up Marcell Ozuna. National League leading it 1-0 on the Chris Bryant first inning homer. Marcell Ozuna, a starter here at the All-Star Game. Quite a turn of events for a guy who was actually sent down last year. Kluber fires. Yeah, that's a little bit low. Ozuna 307, 17 homers, 47 knocked in. Here comes the pitch. Strike of the outside corner.
No, it's easy to overlook Marcell Ozuna and look at the home run derby champion Giancarlo Stanton in every way. Defensively, offensively, physical specimen Stanton.
The 1-1 hammer. Left field. Hooking down the line and just foul.
But when you get close to Marcell Ozuna, it's a lot different than what you see on television. This is a pretty big kid himself. 6'1", 225. And most times you don't see a guy that size roaming and patrolling in center field. But he's having a great year, as you said.
Dexter Fowler elected as the starter, not playing because of the hamstring. Here comes the 1-2. Outside. 96 with that heater from Corey Kluber. Of course, Kluber, Salazar, and Carrasco. Those three guys with serious stuff. The 2-2. Swinging a foul, and that's off to the right, slicing out of play. I mean, those three guys, they are strikeout machines.
Yeah, they got the stuff, and at this point, really displaying the command of that stuff.
2-2 again, and this one tapped foul third base side. And Ozuna hanging in there.
They have to think, barring injury, Cleveland Indians have a real good chance of doing something special this year. We talk about pitching and defense winning ball games, and they clearly got the better clubhouse.
Oh, yeah, they did.
Couldn't even move on the National League side, which is the visiting side here at Petco Park. I looked inside and said, I'll see you later.
I'm good. Here's Xander Bogaerts now, the 23-year-old shortstop. His first All-Star appearance. Cueto deals. And pumps in a strike. Xander Bogaerts hitting .329, 10 homers, and 56 knocked in. Cueto turns, pauses, fires. Swing and a chopper to third. Collecting the big hop, Bryant. Toss to first in time. And Bogaerts is out. One up, one down. Xander Bogaerts is just 23 and wearing that number 2 in honor of Derek Jeter, one of his favorite players growing up. Well, fans want to attend a Baltimore Orioles game with Tim Kirkchin. Check out the SB Day auction at ebay.com/ESPN, and you could win that or another once-in-a-lifetime sports experience. The SB Day auction now through July 13th, ebay.com/ESPN. First one, Eric Hosmer misses the mark. And ball one, no strikes as they play Hosmer to pull on the infield. Bryant way off the line. Left-handed hitter, the 1-0, is cut on and foul tipped into the mitt of Buster Posey, 1-1.
How would that go if you won the bid on Kirkchin and going to a game? I just have a hard time seeing you guys sitting together watching a game.
At a certain point, I just need him to zip it up. The 1-1 is hit in the air left field. Well struck. Gonzalez backtrack. Wall out of here. Eric Hosmer. He goes the opposite way, and we are all tied up. It is 1-1.
Yeah, that big smile is just as bright as ever. Eric Hosmer, who knew he got it right at the end before he got to first base. Man, he had his head over his shoulder at first base coach Rusty Kuntz and then into the dugout. And his first All-Star appearance, first at bat. Congratulations.
And who was there to greet him in the on-deck circle there? Salvador Perez, his good friend. They did their handshake and the chest bump. Haas in the house. Here's Mookie Betts. And the first offering is in for a strike to Betts. So tied at 1. Cueto turns, kicks, and deals. Swing and a ground ball up the middle. And that one past Zobrist and into center field. And Zobrist was shaded up the middle. And even if he had come up with that, would not have been able to throw out Mookie Betts, who runs well.
Guys making it look so easy. First All-Star at bats for Eric Hosmer. Opposite field home run. Mookie Betts single up the middle. And Mookie Betts, don't sleep on the power either. 18 home runs.
First offering is a little high. to Salvador Perez. This guy making his third straight start. The pitch. And it's fouled off at the plate.
And how about for Salvador Perez's career in All-Star games? He was able to be there. Mariano Rivera, Derek Jeter, and this year David Ortiz all playing in their final All-Star game.
Yeah, it's neat because in 13 he was the guy that got to be part of that moment and catch Mariano Rivera as Rivera came out onto the field by himself. And Sal was the only guy out there with him. Throw over to first, and diving back in safely is Betts. Mookie has swiped 15 of 16 this year. The pitch. Swing and a high fly ball, left field. Way back there. Cargo turns and he'll watch it go. So a single and then a 2-run homer. Salvador Perez has given the American League a 3-1 lead.
And the American League continuing, at least to this point, the dominance over the National League. When you consider AL's won 15 of the last 19 Midsummer Classic games. And they've won 3 straight, working on their 4th. I talked about it. If American League can get a lead early, they can shut the door pretty quickly with the arms they have in the bullpen. Legitimate closers from about the 6th, 7th inning on.
Here's the pitch to Bradley. Jackie Bradley Jr. swings and misses. Yeah, Ned Yost said that he'll have Zach Britton close. The 0-1 is hit softly up that third baseline. Rolling. And fair ball. It stayed on the chalk. Buster Posey and Johnny Cueto just sat there and stood over it and watched it. And Jackie Bradley Jr. bumps fists with Rusty Kuntz, the coach at first, and says, I'll take it.
There was a fraction of a second that it went off the line into foul territory. But either Posey or Cueto would have had to pounce immediately, and they didn't. And it, to the luck of Jackie Bradley, rolls back fair.
So with 1 out, still a man at first. The pitch. And Altuve fouls it back to the right out of play. 3-1 AL. A solo homer by Hosmer. And then a 2-run homer by Salvador Perez. Altuve popped to second his first time. What a year this guy has had. The pitch. And that's inside. Pulls the hands in tight. A little second baseman goes about 5'5", 5'6" from Venezuela. But this year he's added surprising power to his game. Last year he had a career-high 15 homers. He's got 14 at the break this season. Throw to first, and Bradley steps back in safely. Last year, career-high 459, the slugging. This year, almost 100 points higher at 542 at the break. We'll see if he can maintain that. The 1-1. Swing and a tapper foul of third. John Shelby, Chris Singleton here at Petco Park in San Diego. And the American League leading the National League 3-1. I'm glad I got into practice last night at the Home Run Derby.
You sounded great right out of the box tonight. Chris Bryant, you were all over it. First pitch.
The 1-2 is cut on and missed. And Altuve is gone. Second out of the inning. And Terry Collins, he had Jose Fernandez loosening.
No, you got Johnny Cueto at 32 pitches there, and ideally Terry Collins trying to get 2 quick innings out of him, and that goes for the mid-inning pitching change, which I think through the first 5 innings managers are hoping that these guys can just throw their solid one. Maybe that guy throws 2 to start the game. And you can understand the torque and the stress that is put on that elbow when he breaks off that curveball slider.
I think he's got a new glove, too. He might have stolen Coach Uehara's glove. Pitch to Trout. And a fastball in for a strike at 95. It's got, that color, I would say, the number 2 pencil color, right?
A little darker. It's got a little more orange to it.
A little more orange to it. You're right. The pitch. Yeah, that's upstairs and outside. One of the things that we've been seeing at the All-Star games is that whether it's Nike or Under Armour or whomever busting out these funky-looking spikes. The 1-1 is in the dirt. It's 2 balls and a strike. And the only thing I can liken it to is that if there's anybody in our audience from New York City, if you ever see like groups of like 6 and 7-year-olds who are in school and they're out and about in a group, they usually put fluorescent shirts on the kids. The 2-1 is in for a strike so that the kids, don't wander off and you don't lose sight of them. And all of the players have these orange spikes like, I'm over here.
Look at me.
Yeah. Here's the pitch. And that's outside.
I think it's great. And I think we've seen MLB just have a lot more latitude with the colors that players have been able to sort of implement into their spikes and their wristbands and batting gloves over the last year or 2.
Next offering, cut on and miss. Struck him out with a slider. Fernandez fans Trout inning over. But 3 big runs for the American League as we head to the third. Machado is pulled way off the line and actually backed up onto the edge of the grass in left field. And just to the left of second base, shaded up the middle, is Bogarts. So Gonzalez steps in left side, and Hamels fires. Swing and a liner to center, and that'll fall for a hit. Base hit for Carlos Gonzalez, so he wastes no time. Leadoff man aboard right here. We'll pause 10 seconds for station identification. You're listening to the 2016 MLB All Star Game on ESPN Radio and the ESPN app. So here's Addison Russell now. The pitch. And a swing and a miss. Russell at 237, 11 homers, at 51 knocked in. The next offering, cut on and miss.
Cole Hamels making a quick adjustment, realizing first pitch fastball to Carlos Gonzalez whacked up the middle for a base hit. So back-to-back changeups to start Addison Russell. Realizes these guys are swinging early and often.
The 0-2 is hit in the air center field. Trout back some more. Backpedaling, slows down onto the warning track, makes the catch, and then quickly fires it into second. As Carlos Gonzalez was thinking about tagging, but he stays put. Russell is out, 1 away.
A 4th All-Star appearance for Cole Hamels, and what a special one for him. Coming back home, grew up in San Diego, went to Rancho Bernardo High School, before being drafted by the Philadelphia Phillies. And here's a guy, Boog, that was up all night last night. He's got a Band-Aid on his chin, and I thought he had a bad shaving incident.
First offering cut on and missed by Zobrist, but...
Or accident. He said, yeah, everything's good except for my chin. I said, well, you shouldn't shave with your dominant hand. You're left-handed, try your right hand. He said, no, I went to the bathroom around 5 a.m., came out, tripped, fell, hit the coffee table, woke my wife up, and we went to the ER.
The 0-1 is hit foul and into the dugout. The National League team, third base side. He went to the ER.
He woke his wife Heidi up and said,
oh my gosh,
we need to go to the emergency room because he was bleeding that bad. So he spent the morning hours in the emergency room and is working off of little to no sleep.
The 0-2 is in the dirt.
But he's happy to be here. And he was going to be here anyway in San Diego. They had already made plans to spend the break back here in the area, had a nice little resort and get some rest and relaxation. So it worked out perfectly, except for the chin issue.
The 1-2. Yeah, that's up and away. Well, that's a rough one. The 5 a.m. head first into the coffee table piece.
Said he tripped over one of his bags on the floor, and then he hit the corner of that coffee table.
The 2-2. Swing and a ground ball. Left side. Bogart's up with a toss to second one, and that's all they'll get. And Carlos Gonzalez going in, spikes high against his fellow countryman Jose Altuve, who feigned a punch. It was kind of like a half-hearted reenactment of Odor and Batista.
I mean, Carlos Gonzalez's fully outstretched leg upright is about as tall as Jose Altuve.
That is no joke.
So that was pretty much right under his nose.
So Bryce Harper now. Harper broke his bat and grounded to second his first time. The pitch. And Hamels pumps in a strike. 94 from the lefty. And meanwhile, Bryce Harper, 23 years old. This is his 4th All-Star appearance. It is a 19-year-old in 2012. He swings and lines a base hit out towards left center field. That is well struck. Bradley picks it up, fires it back in towards the infield, and Harper, sprinting for second, is going to make it. And there are runners at second and third. Well, Bryce was trying for 2 all the way. Bradley has got a really good throwing arm. Picked it up, spun, and threw, but it was way offline.
Yeah, the scope on the rifle there just not sighted in properly because Jackie Bradley Jr. almost threw that to first base. That was a really good piece of hitting by Bryce Harper. It had some side spin to it, actually going kind of up the middle. That was just out of the reach of the diving Xander Bogaerts. And Bogaerts, who is spectacular defensively, if that doesn't have that side spin, I think he makes a spectacular catch and robs Harper.
The pitch. Chris Bryant takes low. Bryant a line drive solo homer to left field his first time up. Gave the National League a short-lived 1-0 lead. It's 3-1 AL, but the NL threatening. Here it comes. Swinging a grounder foul, and that one third base side. That one, I think, hit the edge of the roof of the third base dugout. These dugouts are not especially well protected. The opening to the dugout is much bigger, much wider than in most parks. The 1-1 is a little high. So 2 balls and a strike. The point being, the guys in the dugout are more susceptible, especially in that visiting side, more susceptible to foul balls or more vulnerable. The 2-1. Swing and a miss. There's that changeup.
Well, perhaps one more of those good fading changeups for Cole Hamels. He can go get some sleep.
The 2-2 in the dirt, and nice stop by the catcher Salvador Perez. They did a good job to pick that one. Runners at second and third, and 2 down. 3-1 AL, top of the third. The 87th MLB All Star Game. 3-2 to count. Hamels delivers. Yeah, that's fouled off at the plate. Will Myers waiting to hit next. He's got some funky looking silver spikes on. Chris Bryant going with the all red spikes. Got Altuve with the fluorescent orange spikes out there. Trout's going with some green and orange in center. The 3-2. Swing and a miss. Struck him out with a changeup. And Bryant is gone. The now on top. Siggy, you want to give out your Twitter handle?
At Singy Tweets.
All right.
Let him come on in.
I tweeted a cool picture of the lineups in the park.
Yeah. Original work.
But it was my work. I did it.
I'm so proud of you.
Thank you. Fernandez deals. Swinging a chopper to third. Big hop collected by Bryant. Fires to first. High throw, but Rizzo hangs onto the base with that 1 foot.
Well, here we go, Boog. Jose Fernandez said openly that when he faced David Ortiz tonight, he was going to groove fastballs right down the middle. The first 2, here you go. Hit it. if he gets 2 strikes, we may change. But early in the count, he's going to let it have it, see if he can hit it really far.
And David Ortiz has not stopped smiling. I mean, he is smiling as he does his groundskeeping in the box. All right, here we go. And the pitch. And that's outside. Looked like he threw him a changeup.
Jose Fernandez looked like he was a knuckleball pitcher, the way he slowed his delivery down there, trying to aim that fastball in there, trying to give him a BP fastball, really.
The pitch. That's a little high. Got to count 2-0. So from 80 to 95, Big Papi hit a one-hopper to first, and Rizzo speared for an out. So he grounded out his first time. The 2-0. Swing and a foul tip into the mid. A Buster Posey. Ortiz at 40 years old. His 7th All-Star start. 10th overall appearance. Fernandez turns, kicks, deals. Yeah, that's fouled back towards the screen. And again, the overshift with Russell on the left side. Zobrist, Bryant, and Rizzo, the triangle defense on the right side. 2-2 on Big Papi. Stands deep in that left side batter's box. Waves the bat and waits. Fernandez, the 2-2. That's outside and low. David Ortiz putting together a pretty amazing final season. The 3-2. Swing and a foul back to the screen.
That was eating right there, 96 miles per hour. I'm sure David Ortiz coming into this bat knowing that Jose Fernandez was sincere and saying, I'm going to throw it right down the middle. You just can't accept that as a hitter.
3-2 now. Inside, and that is ball 4 as he started to swing but was able to hold up. Checked his swing. That got all the way to the backstop. And Fernandez and Ortiz have a couple of funny, friendly words, and Big Papi walks. He'll make his way down to first with 1 out. Well, fans, 2016 marks Major League Baseball's 20th year of partnership with the Boys and Girls Clubs of America. Each year, MLB Boys and Girls Clubs work together to encourage healthy lifestyles, provide life-changing opportunities for club members to learn and experience baseball. To find out how you can help, go to greatfutures.org. David Ortiz coming out of the game for a pinch runner, and the entire American League team coming out to greet him, to hug him, and he gets a nice standing ovation. Edwin Encarnacion will run for him at first. And how about that for Big Papi? Really nice scene. All those white uniforms out there right here hugging Salvador Perez. Eric Hosmer embraces him.
And even defensively, Cubs on the infield taking their gloves off and applauding David Ortiz. They were many of the ones yesterday on the National League side that were just oohing and awing for a photograph with David Ortiz during the home run derby yesterday.
I mean, look, we saw a couple years ago at the All Star Game with Derek Jeter, and you know, there's a reverence for Jeter that so many players have. You see guys, so many players like Tulowitzki, like Xander Bogaerts, who were number 2 for Jeter, and they revered and still revere him. For Ortiz, though, there's just a love. I think that he is as beloved among other players as any guy out there. You know what? You understand the distinction I'm making?
Yeah, absolutely, because he's Big Papi, and that's how it's like the players see him as that.
First one to Bogaerts is cut on and missed. Xander grounded to third his first time.
I mean, he's so inviting and welcoming to other teammates of his own or just other players around the league, and truly an ambassador for this game.
The 0-1 is lined down the left side, and that's a fair ball. It's going to get into the corner. Encarnacion racing for third. He'll stop there. Mike Jersley holds him up. And Xander Bogaerts with his first All-Star hit. It's a double, second and third, and a 1 out. And now Eric Hosmer will come up to hit. Hosmer, who homered his first time to tie this game up. And Hosmer and Salvador Perez, the first teammates to homer in the same All-Star game since Manny and Big Papi in 2004. The pitch, swing and a miss.
Yeah, we'll watch Jose Fernandez go to work right here. Runners on second and third. Sometimes at the first base open, you think, well, pitcher will pitch around the hitter and load him up, perhaps get that ground ball double play, but Fernandez can strike him out.
Next pitch in the dirt.
And that's the key when you get the swing and miss stuff. You don't have to waste the pitches. You can go right after that hitter at the plate, and that's exactly what he's doing here to Eric Hosmer. Even though Hosmer did show the power in the opposite field in his first at bat with a solo shot.
Second and third, one down, 3-1 AL. And the pitch, swing and a one-hopper. That eats up Bryant, gets into left field. Encarnacion to score. Bogaerts will stop at third. Hosmer with a bullet single to left that gets past Bryant, and it's 4-1.
Well, Eric Hosmer, even on the break, dialed in. He's got the approach for long-term success going. Opposite field home run his first at bat. Line shot, truly opposite, past the third baseman his second time. He's ready for the second half to start.
So now with one out, and Mookie Betts, as Fernandez delivers outside, ball one. Mookie Betts a single his first time up, and he scored a run, one of 4 Red Sox to start this game. The pitch, and a breaking ball misses low. That was the slider. Bogaerts at third, Hosmer over there at first. And the AL ahead 4-1. They're the home team here in the National League Park. The pitch, that's in for a strike, and it's 2-1. Here's the pitch. Swing and a grounder, foul of third. And Bogaerts shuffling out of the way in foul territory. Now, Mookie Betts, quite a story in terms of the development. A guy who was drafted as a second baseman, played shortstop as well. And they converted him to the outfield. The 2-2 is fouled back to the screen.
Yeah, and you look at that adversity of the transition that he's had to make. You take in, here's a guy that's not an imposing figure, 5'9", 180, but just continues to go out and gain ground, press, develop, and become a key player.
The 2-2 is tapped foul first base side. Yeah, he continues to get better in that formula that the Red Sox use that is so important. And that is the defense in center and in right field. And they did it with Victorino and Ellsbury back in 13. Here's a tapper back to the mound as Fernandez picks it up, goes to Zobrist at second, one on to first. And that's a double play.
We all of the night, how we have hard conversation. Doesn't matter if you're a pitcher, position player, you know. And that's something that satisfies me a lot. And it's because, you know, all I worry about is the game getting better, and that's how it can get better, you know, when the veteran players spread out their experience with the younger.
David, we're going to miss you. Thanks so much.
Hey, thank you very much.
Boog, back to you.
All right, Timmy, thanks very much. Indeed, we will. David Ortiz and the Red Sox in a fight. Trying to bring home one more World Championship before he's done. Here's Will Myers now against Aaron Sanchez. And Sanchez misses outside. Ball one, no strikes. The Blue Jays hard-throwing right-hander. It's Myers, then Posey, then Rizzo. Here's the pitch. Outside low.
Most likely now or never for Will Myers to make it happen and get this crowd excited. I can't see him getting another at-bat in this game.
Sanchez turns, kicks, delivers. And that's in there for a strike at 96 miles an hour. If you're wondering, the last player to homer in his home park at an All-Star game, Chipper Jones, back in 2000 at Turner Field. The 2-1. Outside. And Sanchez wearing the fluorescent green spikes as he works off the first base edge of the rubber. He turns, he kicks, the 3-1. Swing and a bouncer, 2 hops to short. Collected by Bogarts. Fires the first in time. Myers is out. So 1 away. And it'll bring up Buster Posey. Home field on the line here. And home field's been on the line every year with the All-Star Game since 2003. And that started with that All-Star Game in Chicago. The pitch as Posey pushes one foul and out of play. I read somewhere, though, as pointed out online, 10 of the 12 years, it's worked out that the team with the better record had home field. And in 13, the Cardinals and the Red Sox tied for the same record, the 0-1. And a breaking ball is high. But so you understand my point that, for as much as I don't love this idea that the home field is tied to the winner of this game, I'd prefer it to be the best record. The 1-1 goes high.
No, I'm with you.
But it's actually, since they instituted this, it has still worked out. Funny enough, 10 of the 12 years, the team with the better record has been in possession of home field in the World Series. The 2-1. And that's outside. 3 balls and a strike. Buster Posey grounded one off of Corey Kluber his first time up. That redirected to Altuve. 1-4-3, and he was out. The pitch. And that is low. Buster Posey, a 1-out walk. And it'll bring up Anthony Rizzo. 4-1 the American League on top here, top of the 4th. Boog Sciambi and Chris Singleton. It's the 87th Major League Baseball All-Star Game. Tim Kirkchin downstairs near the first base dugout, the American League dugout. Peter Pasquarelli downstairs in the National League dugout. John Medani, our producer, and Al Rosenberg, the great Al Rosenberg, our engineer. Sanchez sets and fires. Swing and a ground ball, base hit, past the diving Hosmer inside the first base bag. Betts over to pick it up. Rizzo will take a turn, but Betts gets it into second quickly. As Posey makes it to third, it's a single, and there are runners at the corners.
Yeah, and Anthony Rizzo, a little chuckle when he gets to first base with Eric Hosmer, because Rizzo knows that play exactly. You're holding a runner on, and as the pitcher delivers to the plate, you shuffle off the base, kind of like a base runner does, and that momentum can have you leaning towards second just when you need to be driving back towards the line to make a diving play. And he hit it hard, snuck it by Hosmer.
And it's a little more frustrating. They're both left-handed fielding first basemen. That's a play for the lefties that it's a little more frustrating because they're diving back and trying to get it on the backhand. First one to Ozuna, missing up and in. Marcell Ozuna struck out looking his first time. The National League with a threat with 1 out. First and third, top 4, down 4-1. The kick, the pitch. Swing and a foul pushed off to the right. And that is out of play.
Looked like Ozuna was cheating a little bit right there, sitting on something off speed. And once he determined it was straight with good mid-90s velocity, he had to pull out the emergency hack. Foul it off.
The 1-1. Swing and a ground ball up the middle. That'll get through for a base hit. Posey in to score. Rizzo will stop at second. RBI single for Marcell Ozuna. And it's a 4-2 game. And Carlos Gonzalez will come up again. What about Ozuna and the Marlins? Do you think they're going to stick in the race for the playoffs in the National League?
I do. I think that this is a team that obviously Marcell Ozuna, an all-star player, Giancarlo Stanton, who was here last night, won the home run derby. He wasn't an all-star this year, but he's an all-star player. And that was evident last night, but even more so during the regular season games over the last couple of weeks, finding his stride, his stroke, his rhythm. And I think with D. Gordon returning as well from the suspension list.
First one to Gonzalez in for a strike.
It's a team that's got some talent. Good talent. Good enough to, I believe, grab one of the wild cards of the National League.
The pitch. And a breaking ball misses outside. John Shelby, Chris Singleton here in San Diego. Here's the pitch. And that's inside. And Gonzalez shuffling out of the way. Cargo with a single his first time up.
Got a chance to talk with Cargo yesterday and asking him a little bit if he thinks he's going to still be there at the end of this month.
Next pitch fouled off to the left and out of play.
In Colorado, that is, as a Rocky. And seems to feel pretty confident the way that the organization is dealing with him, that he'll be there. But one thing about it is, here's a player that's done a lot. He's been an all-star. He's been, when healthy, one of the top players in the game. And the next thing to cross off is a championship.
The 2-2. Swinging a foul to plate.
And that's not in the near future for the Colorado Rockies.
Nope.
And so with that said, for a player who loves his hometown team in terms of having been in Colorado for such a long time, I think there comes a point as well where you kind of have to accept the fate that I'm probably going to have to go somewhere else to win.
2-2 is outside. For 2-game AL on top of the NL. Carlos Gonzalez, dangerous hitter, big-time power. Hits with one out, runners at first and second. Evan Sanchez at the belt. Lifts the leg, deals. Swing and a line drive. Caught by Altuve. Out of the air. Throw to first. And getting back safely is Ozuna. Couldn't turn to double play. I mean, that was absolutely rocketed. And Altuve was able to spear it. And then did a 360 to try and turn and double off Ozuna, but couldn't do it.
That little rocket almost picked up Jose Altuve and carried him into center field.
I know it.
I mean, he did well just in terms of self-defense.
Yep.
And then to have an opportunity to at least try to double off Ozuna at first base, you tip your cap to him.
The pitch to Addison Russell is high. The Russell slide to center his first time. American League leading 4-2. 4 runs, 7 hits, no errors for the AL. 2-5-0 for the NL. Here's the pitch. Swing and a bouncer out to short. On the backhand, Bogarts tossed Altuve at second.
The last 2 years have been really tough for me, but to be able to be healthy finally for the first time and playing 3 months straight and getting those consistent at-bats has been great for me. I knew I was very capable of these numbers if I could just stay healthy, and luckily enough, I was able to.
Well, Myers, good luck the rest of the way. Thanks for your time.
Yeah, thanks.
Good stuff.
Back
right
up to you,
there.
Boop.
All right, Peter, thanks very much. Got a little delay out on the field. Not sure what happened. It looked like a bird actually may have had an unfortunate landing down there and needed to be taken off on the infield. So we had to wait an extra second. New pitcher for the National League will be Drew Pomeranz as he delivers. And fires down and away for a ball. Pomeranz falling behind Salvador Perez, who came up with a 2-run homer his first time. Here's the pitch. Yeah, that one is low. Pomeranz 8-7, a 2.47 ERA. 115 strikeouts in 102 innings for the big lefty. And he delivers. Swing and a bouncer, foul of third. Tell you the other thing, we discussed this the other night. You're just seeing more and more of these guys with these modified windups, and he's another one. He looks like he's working out of the stretch, but he's not. Here's the pitch. Swing and a chopper to third. Backhanded on an easy hop. It's Bryant. Tossed to first in time. One up and one down.
Yeah, I think he's got the most abbreviated windup of any of the guys that we've talked about.
Sure.
Because he really looks like he's just working from the stretch. That step is so small. I mean, you think about David Price. He's the guy that you kind of look at, man, he's really modified it. But Pomerantz even more so.
Yep. Pitch to Bradley. And that is in for a strike. Nothing going to want to Jackie Bradley Jr., who had a infield single his first time, a swinging bunt that hugged the chalk about 25 feet down the third baseline. The 0-1. Foul back to the screen. To the outfield, Gonzalez, Ozuna, and Harper left to right. The pitch. Swinging a foul back to the screen. Defensively, a couple of changes. Bryant remains in the game at third, but at shortstop, Corey Seager has taken over. Zobrist and Rizzo remain on the right side. Wilson Ramos, the new catcher, replacing Buster Posey. The 0-2. Swing and a roller through that left side hole and a base hit. I think he broke his bat as he squirted that one between Bryant and Seager.
He'll take it any day of the week. And Jackie Bradley Jr. getting more power with each at bat. Little dribbler, swinging bunt his last time up. This time broken bat. And because Seager was playing him more up the middle, just was able to sneak it through that huge sick hole.
That pitch was up. He almost just really blocked it the other way. First offering to Altuve is in for a strike. Jose Altuve 0 for 2. He's popped to second and struck out swinging. Bottom four. The American League leading the National League 4-2. Pomerantz fires. Swing and a fly ball out towards right center field. Ozuna coming on some more, and makes the grab. And there's 2 down. I want to say hi to our close personal friend Dan Shulman, who's driving and listening.
Hello, Danny. You got to have Danny come in and do that home run derby with you sometime.
That would be really good. He's been, the truth of the matter is I've been keeping him away. He's been asking to do it a lot, and the next year I think I'm going to let him share the broadcast with me. First offering is in there for a strike.
Well, I'm not asking you to do this, but if you want to be really generous, you can just step aside
and let him do the whole thing.
Yeah. Let him have shine for a little while.
I probably will do that actually next year. Good guy though. The 0-1 is hit on the ground. Starts and having a good first half. 117 and 2/3 innings, 105 strikeouts. And part of the reason that the White Sox have stuck around in the race is that it's not just Chris Sale. They got a couple of quality lefty starters. First one to Daniel Murphy is in for a strike. So Murphy hitting for Zobrist. The lefty delivers. And that's outside and low. Daniel Murphy's put together quite a first half. How surprised are you that the power has continued from the postseason into this year?
I'm very surprised because what he did last year in October was just otherworldly.
The 1-1 is cut on and missed.
And then to change uniforms, go to a rival team in the division and continue to do damage. And oh, by the way, when I play my former team, it's like they treated me extremely bad when I was there.
Right.
That's how he plays.
The 1-2. Swing and a roller to the right side. Altuve shuffling to his left, picks it up, bobbles it, picks it up again, throw to first, out at first. Kerwin Danley on the call. Altuve had it, and then it spilled out of his glove, a throw to first after he picked it back up. And they're going to take a look at it. And Murphy was indeed safe.
Well, that's what I would say, Boog. But chances are they're going to come back from Chelsea and say he's actually out because it looks like he's safe on our monitor. That's how it's been for me this year. You go out there, oh, absolutely, he's safe. I just saw the replay.
Yep.
And then the verdict comes down, and, yeah, what are you looking at?
So I think it's going to be safe E4. That's what I'm saying.
Well, I mean, you can say that because you've actually been to the command center.
That is correct.
Brought lunch into the guys.
I didn't do that.
Hang out and watch video, play some video games. You're right. Look at you.
Safe. And Paul Goldschmidt is going to come up to hit. Here's the pitch. And Goldie takes low. Paul Goldschmidt, his 4th straight All-Star appearance. So it is, in fact, an E4. Quintana at the belt. Here comes. Swinging a foul off to the right, out of play. 4-2 AL on top. We're in the top of the 5th. Goldschmidt, mentioned 4th straight All-Star appearance. We get a chance to watch the Diamondbacks and the Giants this past weekend out in San Francisco.
We learned this, that his at-bats are lengthy. Fouls off a lot of pitches with 2 strikes.
The 1-1 is lifted in the air out towards right center field. And Betts is there to pull it down. And on the play, Murphy back to first.
3rd in the National League in pitches per plate appearance, Paul Goldschmidt, around 4.30, and we got to witness it firsthand. Man, his at-bats were taken forever.
And pushing those foul balls off to the right, off to the right. And now it'll be Nolan Arenado. So the right-hand hitter digs in. Quintana fires. Swing and a bouncer out towards short. Machado, though, picks it up and shovels over to Altuve as they get the force at second base.
Well, that's a great move by Machado, who is a shortstop by trade. Even though he's played third base just about his entire major league career, he's gotten a run at shortstop this season with J.J. Hardy being on the disabled list. And I talked to him about that today, and he said, man, it felt so good to play short. He felt like he was right back at home. Even the first night that he played short, he had a couple of hits at the plate, and he said, man, this is where I belong. You know, just being at shortstop made everything feel more relaxed.
First one to Will Myers, misses down and away for a ball. Myers 0 for 2 with a strikeout and a ground out. The lefty deals. Swing and a line drive, base hit into right center field. Trout and Betts trying to cut it off. Racing for third is Arenado. Into second with a double is Will Myers, and the fans love it. And the tying run is in scoring position.
I didn't think Will Myers would get another opportunity tonight to hit, but in his third at bat finally comes through.
That was well struck. And Wilson Ramos, who came on defensively in the fourth, has a chance here to possibly tie the game with a hit. 2 outs. And runners at second and third. Quintana fires. And that one in there for a strike. They even played that chant here at Petco Park that they play at Nationals Park for Wilson Ramos, where it's the Nats fans channeling the band Fish, the Fish fans. The 0-1. Swing and a miss. I guess there's a song that they play. I think it's called Wilson. I apologize to the Fish fans out there. Not a huge jam band guy. Anyway. But when they play that song, the fans at Fish concerts chant Wilson. And that's what they do every time he comes up to hit at Nats Park. Okay, so there's that. The 0-2. Swing and a miss. Struck him out. And Wilson strike. Seager stays put at short. Murphy stays in the game and will play second. Goldschmidt stays in the game and will play first. And Wilson Ramos remains in the game behind the plate as Manny Machado comes up. Manny 0 for 2. The AL leading it 4-2. Gotten homers from a couple of Royals. Eric Hosmer and Salvador Perez. Tehran turns, kick, steals. And Manny fouls it back our way, out of play. It's been like a while since we've gotten a foul ball. I mean, like a couple of years, man.
Tell you what, in Fort Bragg a couple of weeks ago, they were coming in hot.
The 0-1. Swing and a miss. Is that right?
Yeah, we weren't really in tune to it until one came smoking up our way, and it was like, oh, we should have brought gloves, really.
The 0-2 is outside. Manny Machado, his third All-Star appearance, is 24 years old. The 1-2. Swing and a high fly ball left field. Duvall back at the track near the wall, feeling for it, and he makes the catch out there, just shy of the wall as Machado reached out and just poked it out to left field.
Yeah, it kind of signals to me that he's got a heavier bat up there. He just sort of threw the hands. His bottom half was bailing out of the place, but he threw the hands in that barrel, carried it all the way to the wall.
So one down, and here is Edwin Encarnacion. And the pitch. Swing and a miss. Encarnacion, who has turned into one of the premier power hitters in baseball the last 4 or 5 years. The 0-1 is outside and low. He's got 23 homers at the break this year. He's a free agent at the end of the year. The 1-1. Swing and a miss. And it's not entirely coincidental as far as Encarnacion pinch running for David Ortiz at first base. He's Ortiz's fellow countryman. They are really good friends. The 1-2. Swing and a ball popped up. Foul it back at the plate. Ramos tosses the mask and makes the catch. Just up against the screen. Wilson Ramos able to pull down that foul ball. Right here, we'll pause 10 seconds. Station ID, you're listening to the 2016 MLB All Star Game on ESPN Radio and the ESPN app. Francisco Lindor will pinch hit as he digs in on that left side. And the pitch. And a switch hitter batting left takes up and away. Lindor in his first All-Star appearance. Open stance to that left side. The pitch. And Tehran delivers a ball fouled out of play off to the left. 1-1.
Now we know Francisco Lindor is extremely talented and has plugged a big hole for the Indians at shortstop up the middle, but man, he's got an infectious smile.
The 1-1 on the outside corner for a strike.
Had a chance to chat with him a little bit today. His family's here for the game, and I said, I know you've always got a big smile when you play this game, but how much bigger will it be tonight once you get on that field? And he just smiled again.
The 1-2. Swing and a ball popped in the air, shallow center. Going out, Seager. Herrera coming on, but it'll be the shortstop Seager making the catch on that.
It's to next level performance. You're making the switch to the modern synthetic motor oil, made from natural gas, not crude oil. You're making the switch to the same technology that won the Daytona and Indy 500 in the same year. You're making the switch to motor oil that's changing the game. Pennzoil Synthetics. Make the switch. Save with a Pennzoil synthetic oil change special at your local AutoZone.
Hi, this is Lori Grenier. You've seen me on Shark Tank. Throughout my career, I've developed hundreds of innovative products that make people's lives easier. That's what Cabbage does for small business owners. They've developed a simple and flexible way for business owners to access a line of credit of up to $100,000. Apply online or from your phone. You will get a decision in minutes and can start using your funds immediately. Cabbage has provided over $2 billion to 80,000 small businesses like yours. To get started, visit Cabbage.com or call 888-CABBAGE. Make Cabbage your first resort for business funding.
This is the 2016 MLB All Star Game on ESPN Radio.
Back here in San Diego, and everybody on their feet. The umpiring crew down behind home plate, and everyone standing and holding their cards that say stand up for, and then a blank sign or a blank space where you can write a loved one's name in there, and it's stand up to cancer. And so the game being stopped momentarily as down on the field, yeah, just a moment here as they do the stand-up to cancer. This is Rachel Platten, who sang the national anthem, and so we get a little mini concert in the middle of the game.
Singing the popular song, Fight Song.
And everyone on the TV side is the players, the coaches, the umpires down on the field holding their placards that recognize a loved one who's dealt with cancer.
And you look around this ballpark, there are not too many people that don't have a sign, Boog, and it just speaks to how this deadly disease has affected all of us.
So here at the 87th MLB All Star Game, as we get ready to bring you to sixth inning. And the American League on top of the National League. And it is 4-2. The American League having won the last 3 All-Star games in a row. And 15 of the last 19. It's pretty amazing when you consider the youth in this game. You got 4 start. So Bruce, who came on defensively in the bottom of the 5th. Yeah, they'll play the shift with Herrera on the mound, Bruce at the plate. It'll go Lindor, Cano, and Hosmer on that right side. Here's the pitch. Swinging a foul tip into the mid of Matt Wieters.
How about the catcher's gear Matt Wieters got going? It is shiny chrome.
Herrera fires. Swing and a miss. And look at the bottom of Wieters' spikes. You can see. I mean, it's
bling.
It is.
It's bling.
And chrome is the way to describe it. It's perfect. The 0-2. Swing and a miss. Bruce is gone, and Herrera gets rid of his first man.
Yeah, it's like he's a character in an old Janet Jackson video or something, man.
All right. That'll work.
What is Rhythm Nation or something like that?
Rhythm Nation, sure. Yeah, we can do that. That's fine. Here's Odubel Herrera. Herrera, the Phillies center fielder. This guy's turned into a really nice player. He's done a solid job defensively. He's signed as an infielder by trade, converted to center field. Does a great job getting on base. The pitch. Yeah, that's way high. Herrera at 294, 10 homers. His OBP is 378, which is excellent. The National League average is a little over 320. But he's turned into a fine player. The pitch is outside.
Part of a young, talented ball club in the Philadelphia Phillies, meaning that they got some pitching, they got some players. Had that top pick this year in the draft, Mickey Moniak.
The pitch. Swing and a liner to center. And coming on is Desmond. He's there to make the catch.
And it shouldn't be too much longer that happy days are back in Philly and you start to see a team that is competitive in the National League East. I'm sure Peter Pasquarelli is going to be all over it once they start to make some noise again.
I don't think there's any question. First offering is in for a strike to Adam Duvall. So Duvall getting his first All-Star at bat and swings here, taps one out in front of the plate. Wieters tosses the mask, picks it up
right away. Solo shot to the opposite field, and then another base hit to left. He's hit the ball really hard tonight.
So Max Scherzer will take over on the hill. Here's the pitch. Swing and a miss. Looked like a curveball from Scherzer to start off against Hosmer, who's an aggressive hitter. He came out swinging. The 0-1. Swing and a miss. 97 with that heater. Here's the 0-2. Swinging a foul back to the screen. 99 on the scoreboard for Max Scherzer.
Yeah, and that's because of the velocity. He threw it right down the middle to Eric Hosmer. First couple pitches were tough in terms of location, but that one here hit it.
And the pitch. Swinging a tapper foul. First base side. Eric Hosmer, the former first-round pick. Max Scherzer as well. Here's the pitch. Swinging a foul back to the screen. I do this every year, including guys who are injured or Bumgarner's case pitched on Sunday. So taking all of the All-Stars, guys who've been replaced, etc. Here's the 0-2. Swing and a little bouncer, and that's foul at first. And Goldie will pick it up, Paul Goldschmidt. And there are 54 draft-eligible guys combined on these All-Star rosters. And again, that includes Wade Davis, who's hurt, Matt Carpenter, who's hurt. The 0-2 is in the dirt. 54 draft-eligible All-Stars. 25 of them are first-round picks. So close to half of the draft-eligible guys on this All-Star team, on these All-Star teams, are first-rounders. The 1-2 is inside, which, when you're talking about a draft that has over 40 rounds, I mean, it really does underline how important it is to nail your first-round pick. The 2-2. Swing and a bouncer. 2 hops to second. Murphy takes it in from the outfield grass over to Goldschmidt. And Hosmer is out. And a 1 up and a 1 down. Our next game on ESPN Radio. Coverage continues on Saturday, July 16th. The Red Sox and the Yankees from the Bronx. Our pregame coverage starts at 3 Eastern. And then, of course, again on Sunday night, a doubleheader, or not a doubleheader, but our 2 games over the weekend. It'll be Saturday and Sunday. Sunday night will come to you at 7 Eastern. Here's the pitch to Beltran. And Beltran takes Galman in.
We'll be able to give him more of the All-Star David Ortiz and more of this man right here at the plate, Carlos Beltran.
That's right. Scherzer delivers. Swing and a bouncer, foul of first. Yeah, Carlos Beltran, good first half, 299. He's got 19 home runs. The 1-1 is outside. And for Carlos Beltran, his 9th All-Star appearance. Scherzer to 2-1. Swing and a high fly ball, center field. Herrera coming on, and to his left. He's under it, and he's got it. And Beltran retired. So 2 down, and here comes Matt Wieters.
Well, here's what's interesting tonight, and looking at the quote-unquote starting pitching early on, whether it's Cueto, Fernandez, they were kind of just laying balls in there, laying pitches in there, and realized that the opposition, they're swinging early and often, but Max Scherzer's come in, and he's pitching like it's late in the ball game, and he's trying to preserve a 1-0 lead. Throwing everything up there, mixing in and mixing out.
First offering to Wieters, switch hitter batting left. And that misses the mark for ball 1. Scherzer peers in. And now time called ever so briefly. And Wieters digs back in the box. The 1-0 is on the way. Swing and a miss. Our instant analysis brought to you by Pennzoil Synthetics, taking synthetic motor oil performance to a whole new level. Make the switch to Pennzoil Synthetics today. Here it comes. Now the next offering is inside. Chatted with Matt Wieters down at Clubhouse pregame, and we were saying, you know, the All-Star jersey tops aren't great, but the socks are awesome. The 2-1 foul tipped into the catcher's mitt of Ramos, and as he was putting his socks on, all of a sudden he realized, oh man, except he put the left sock on the right foot.
Oh.
And then he took it off and put it on the left foot, and he said, oh, man, that feels a lot better. Next offering, cut on and missed. And Wieters is gone, struck him out. So 1, 2, 3. It is all in that area. And the Beasties open for them, I think, in one of their concerts. But still not going to approve that. Here's Corey Seager now. Betances fires and pumps in a fastball at 98 for a strike.
You and I had this discussion over the last couple of weeks. Corey Seager.
The 0-1. And that's in for a strike.
Could very well have been the starter for the National League at shortstop over Addison Russell. In fact, if it were up to me, I would pick Corey Seager.
The pitch. Yeah, that's outside. Yeah, I'm with you.
Yeah. The things that he has done, taking nothing away from Addison Russell, who's had a great year as well, but Corey Seager, you can argue that he's the best player on that team right now. I know you've got Adrian Gonzalez, Clayton Kershaw. He's not in the. We're not talking about him in this conversation, but Corey Seager's the guy.
Next offering is outside. Now the count 2-2.
And if you were to pick any one player, and not to say, hey, in 3 years or 4 years, but right now, one player from the Dodgers, not a pitcher, but a position player.
The 2-2 is cut on and missed.
And straight up, it's Corey Seager.
Yeah, he's impressive. There's no doubt. So 1 away, and with the bases empty, a 4-2 AL lead. And Murphy up to hit. Murphy reached on an error by Jose Altuve his first time. The pitch. Swing and a ground ball. Base hit right field. Just kind of reached out and hooked that one into right. And Murphy with his first hit.
He just hits. Unfazed by the first year, the multi-year contract with the Washington Nationals. We got a chance to talk to him yesterday during the home run derby.
And the pitch. Yeah, that's in for a strike.
And he's enjoying his new teammates. Got a lot of talented guys that he can look around and watch on any given night, on really every night. And also loves playing for Dusty Baker.
The 0-1 is outside and gets away from Wieters to the backstop. And down to second on the wild pitch is Daniel Murphy. Just a bit outside. Dylan Betances making the All-Star team for the third straight year. The 1-1. Goldschmidt swings and misses.
It's one of the rare times that I've seen Paul Goldschmidt swing and miss.
Yes. Yeah, I'm with you. We didn't see a lot of it over the weekend. Next offering is hit in the air towards right center field. Desmond cutting across and makes the catch in front of Carlos Beltran. So Goldie retired. And after.
Just think about this. If you went back a year ago,
yeah,
and someone told Ian Desmond or even told us and said he'll be playing in the All-Star game next year
as
at center field.
Center field for the Rangers.
Yeah, come on.
Amazing. Here's the pitch. Yeah, that is high to Nolan Arenado. Crowd tonight, 42,386. What a gorgeous night here at this ballpark. San Diego's done a magnificent job hosting the All-Star game. The pitch, swing and a miss. The Padres, by the way, the only team to host the All-Star game 3 times in the last 39 years.
It's because of the rave reviews. I've had probably 4 or 5 different individuals not connected say, why can't they just make this the designated All-Star spot every year?
Somebody said it to me. I did an interview, pitch up and away. And that one misses. 101 miles an hour from Dylan Betances. I said it too. Yeah, let's have it here. I mean, as a downtown, it's not too big, not too small. There's lots to do. The weather is perfect. This ballpark is great. I'm in. The 2-1. Swing and a ball popped up. Foul off first. Miguel Cabrera giving it a look, and then it'll drop out of play. Cabrera into the game, taking over for Hosmer at first. Defensively, in the outfield left to right, Trumbo, Desmond, and Beltran. Third to first on the infield, Donaldson, Lindor, Cano, and Cabrera. Wieters and Betances the battery. The pitch. Swing and a miss. Blew him away. A fastball at 101. Wow. Well, midway here in the 7th, it is time to stretch at Petco Park. The 87th All-Star Game, and the American League leading it 4-2. This is the 2016 MLB All Star Game on ESPN Radio and the ESPN app.
This game brought to you by Shell V-Power Nitro Plus Premium Gasoline and the Fuel Rewards Program, where for a limited time you can join and earn 10 cents per gallon rewards after every fill-up with Shell V-Power Nitro Plus. Top of the inning.
Wait, hold up, Bill. Did you just say 10 cents per gallon on Shell V-Power Nitro Plus?
I did. Back to the game now.
Hey, look, I just joined Fuel Rewards.
Jim, we're announcing a game.
But it's free.
Join the excitement at fuelrewards.com/ESPN. Offer ends 10/2/16. Minimum 8-gallon purchase of Shell V-Power Nitro Plus Premium Gasoline. Fuel savings limited to 20 gallons. Additional terms and conditions apply.
Hi, this is Lori Grenier. You've seen me on Shark Tank. Throughout my career, I've developed hundreds of innovative products that make people's lives easier. That's what Cabbage does for small business owners. They've developed a simple and flexible way for business owners to access a line of credit of up to $100,000. Apply online or from your phone. You will get a decision in minutes and can start using your funds immediately. Cabbage has provided over $2 billion to 80,000 small businesses like yours. To get started, visit Cabbage.com or call 888-CABBAGE. Make Cabbage your first resort for business funding.
This is Craftsman.
Extreme stories of extreme grip.
June of '93. Chuck Boone is tossed during a no-hitter after officials find foreign substances on him to help his grip. Syrup, glue, even instant oatmeal.
That stuff sticks to everything.
Chuck knows grip, so he uses Craftsman Extreme Grip screwdrivers and socket sets that give him the grip he needs on stripped screws.
And rounded bolts.
This July, select Craftsman Extreme Grip tools on sale all month at your neighborhood Ace. Craftsman, when it matters. Valid July 1st to the 31st on select Craftsman tools at participating locations and acehardware.com. See store for details.
Hi, I'm Joan London. If you're looking for senior care for your mom or dad like I was, call A Place for Mom, the nation's largest senior living referral service. Their local advisors will explain your options and help you select senior living communities at no cost to you.
To speak with your local senior care advisor, call A Place for Mom, 1-800-375-7751. That's 1-800-375-7751.
They look, they're going to have their downs during the season. And the Cubs are having that, and they'll figure things out. They're too talented to stay down for an extended period of time.
So here's Trumbo. Lester fires. And that's in the dirt. Mark Trumbo, who lost in the finals of the Home Run Derby yesterday. The 1-0 in for a strike. And Trumbo making his second All-Star appearance. Meanwhile, for John Lester, his fourth. The 1-1. Swing and a miss. Lester on the season 9-4 at 3.01 ERA, and just about a strikeout an inning at 108 at 110 and 2/3. Here's the pitch. Swing and a ground ball. 2 hops to short. Knocked down Seager. Picks it up. Toss to first. Safe at first. Trumbo beat it out. Hey, he runs all right.
And Corey Seager gave him a little extra time. He was in no real hurry after the bobble. Took his time. A couple of shuffles. And got it over there. I think Mark Trumbo surprised him a little bit.
Now you're right. He took his time. After he picked it back up, he kind of tapped the glove an extra time, and I think that's what cost him. So it'll go E6. And here is Robinson Cano for the first time. The former Yankee enjoying a good first half. 21 homers for the Mariners. Lester deals. And that's in for a strike. 93 with that heater from John Lester.
These two guys very familiar with one another, having battled for so long in the American League East, Red Sox and Yankees.
Here's the 0-1. And that's outside and low. Robbie Cano signed that mega free agent contract a few seasons back. The 1-1 is outside and low.
He kind of sounded like you wanted the career numbers, so here they are. Robinson Cano versus John Lester. 18 for 75. 6 walks, 15 strikeouts. 0 homers, a .240 batting average. That's a lot of at-bats as well.
A lot. I mean, never homered off of them. Lester sets and fires. And that's just off the outside edge. And now 3-1. Trumbull at first on the area, nobody out. Bottom 7. And the AL leading the NL. It is 4-2. The pitch. And that's whacked foul off to the left and out of play. And the sun setting and the sun reflecting off the buildings out there in right center and center field.
How about all the fans outside the ballpark, whether
Yeah.
it's on top of the Marriott hotels and some of these condos watching on the patio.
Lester ready deals. And that one is low, and it's ball 4. So 2 on and nobody out here in the 7th as the AL looks for a little insurance. Or insurance, as you like to say.
I've been working on that, and I thought you took notice, but it's kind of like you painted me and you refused to.
Well, that's not true. I'm waiting on you to make a comeback. Robbie Cano now at first, Mark Trumbull at second. And this is Ian Desmond. Desmond 322 with 15 homers in the first half. Right-handed hitter, the pitch. Swing and a little chopper towards third. Arenado picks it up, goes to second, and they get the out there. Wow, Nolan Arenado showing off the hands as he just kind of swiped that and was able to fire a strike to Murphy.
Man, it would be really fun to just sit and watch back-to-back highlight reels defensively of Eric Chavez and Nolan Arenado. As Eric Chavez, former teammate of mine, watching him play on a daily basis was just wow. And you see Nolan Arenado and you get the same feeling. I do, at least.
Yep. Here's Josh Donaldson down. First and third, 1 out. The pitch. Swing and a little roller foul to third. Four runs, 8 hits, and an error for the AL. They've left 4. The NL, 2 runs, 7 hits, and 1 error. They've left 7. American League trying to make it 4 straight wins. The pitch. And that's a little low.
AL has won 15 of the last 19 matchups.
Lester sets, kicks, fires. Swing and a fly ball slicing foul, and that'll get out of play. And into the seats down in that right field corner. National League jumped on the board in the first inning on a Chris Bryant solo homer. But the American League came back. Eric Hosmer with a solo blast. Salvador Perez with a 2-run homer as Donaldson swings here and hits it a mile high to left. Duvall coming on some more under it and makes the catch. Bluffing a tag at third is Trumbo. Throw comes into the plate, and so Desmond will take off for second, and he'll make it. Now Lucroy on a throw that missed the cutoff man had to make sure that it didn't get away from him, and so Desmond takes the extra base. So second and third after the flyout. His Boston College team got 1 game away from the College World Series, lost to Miami. I guess I really should say our Boston College team, right? All right, so here we go. It'll be Melanson to face Encarnacion. And Encarnacion came on as a pinch runner in the third for David Ortiz and scored. He's also popped out foul. Starting to make this point earlier. If you ask David Ortiz who he thinks the Red Sox should sign as their next DH. He thinks it should be this guy. Second and third, 2 down. Melanson fires. And that one inside. 4-2 AL on top of the NL, the 87th MLB All Star Game. Melanson out of the stretch and delivers. And that's in the dirt. So now the count is 2-0. What about the Pirates? They made a pretty good push, right?
Yeah.
Going into that break.
And at the right time, as the Cubs were kind of tanking a bit, Pirates were able to play really well and gain some ground.
Trumbo at third, Desmond at second. The kick to 2-0. And that one is on the outside corner for a strike.
You look at those stretches sometimes over the course of a long season where a team's back 8 games and they start playing their best baseball, but the team they're chasing just continues to win. And it's like you're frustrated, want to hit your head up against the wall saying, when can we get a break and ride this hot streak while they're on a cold streak?
Now the 2-1 inside. And Encarnacion having to raise up the bat handle to get it out of the way. AL on top 4-2. Things have slowed down. They're getting the wave going here at Petco Park. Melanson sets and delivers. And that one down and away. A check swing. They appeal and didn't go. Kerwood Danley down there. So with the walk, the bases are loaded. I don't know if there are rules for the wave, but I guess like in my mind's eye, whenever I see the wave going counterclockwise, it feels weird. I feel like the wave is supposed to go clockwise. Thoughts?
I'm not really sure. I just kind of wanted to get it over with.
Good analysis right there. I'm in. Here's Lindor with 2 outs and the bases loaded. AL up 4-2. Switch hitter bats left. The pitch. Swing and a chopper right side. Murphy picks it up, fires across his body to first in time, and a nice play as he gets Lindor, and the American League leaves him loaded. Melanson gets out of the jam. On to the 8th here in San Diego. AL 4 in
several years. There's no way you keep David Ortiz out of the Hall of Fame.
All right, Straight Talk Wireless, nationwide coverage in America's largest and most dependable networks. What an impact he's had on the Red Sox organization as Brandon Belt steps to the plate. So he'll hit for Will Myers, and Andrew Miller takes over on the mound. The pitch. Yeah, that's down and away. And not great news for Brandon Belt having to come in and face this guy. The only reliever that strikes out lefties at a higher rate than Dylan Betances is Andrew Miller. They just devour left-hand bats as Belt swings here, fouls one back. And the count is 2-1.
Well, think about it. Terry Collins talking today in our meeting, saying with Chris Sale going on the mound, they didn't want to throw lefties, starting against Chris Sale and have to deal with that. Well, here's the situation. It's equally as bad.
Next pitch is in for a strike
for Brandon Belt coming in this game, and he's got to face Andrew Miller.
God. I mean, that is no fun. That's not fair. Like, it's one thing if you get these guys late and you're playing the entire time, but come on. The pitch. Check swing and a ball down and away. He held up. It's a ball. The slider missed, and now it's 3-2. Nobody on, nobody out.
And let me say this, not start because obviously the starters are voted in, but didn't want to hit up towards the top of the lineup, guys that have a good chance lefties against Sale early.
The 3-2 is popped in the air. Shallow left center. Trumbo and Desmond. It'll be Trumbo to make the catch. And Belt retired. Play Ball is MLB's initiative to inspire all forms of baseball and softball participation, making play opportunities available and fun for everyone. To learn more, go to playball.org. The American League playing ball tonight, leading this one 4-2. Boog Sciambi, Chris Singleton, thanks for joining us here on ESPN Radio for the 87th MLB All Star Game. Jonathan Lucroy getting a chance to hit for the first time. Yeah, there's a strike to Lucroy from Miller. Miller fires. Yeah, that's upstairs and outside. Lucroy rocking some gold spikes. Miller works up the third base edge of the rubber. The 1-1. Swing and a miss. Andrew Miller, the Yankees' eighth inning guy, as he's been setting up for Aroldis Chapman. Of course, last year is the closer. The 1-2. Swinging a foul out of play off to the right.
Yeah, and it looks like he's about to be somebody's ninth inning guy here soon.
I think you're right. Here's the pitch. Inside. Lucroy getting a chance to play in this All-Star game. He's turned into one of the better catchers in the league as he swings and rips one down the left side. It hooks foul. Just got out in front of it a little too much. A breaking ball, and he hammered the slider just to the left of the 336 marker that's painted up on the Western Metal Supply building. One out, bases empty, 4-2 AL, top 8. The 2-2. Swing and a liner, base hit left field. He stayed on those last two pitches and squared them up.
Indeed he did, and not like he gets to face Andrew Miller a whole lot, if ever. You check those background stats, but he was dialed in, not phased at all by how short Andrew Miller can make that breaking ball, how he can twist that fastball. He barreled it up, and you don't see a lot of guys barrel up Andrew Miller. He might hit something pretty hard, but it's usually not on the sweet spot.
First offering to Bruce, misses, down and away, ball 1. The pitch, swing and a miss. Bruce was late on a heater at 96.
So here it is, Jonathan Lucroy now 1 for 3 career off of Andrew Miller.
All right. The pitch. Yeah, that's low. Anything else there?
No, I just wanted to put a bow on it. To those listening that, like, yeah, I wonder how many times he has faced him, if ever. He's faced him 4 times, 1 for 3 at the wall.
The 2-1. And that's in the inside corner for a strike. So 2-2 to Jay Bruce. Now Bruce on the season, 18 homers. As he cuts and misses at a 2-2, and he's down on strikes for the second time. And it looks like Starling Marte is going to hit for Odubel Herrera. All right, so if you're wondering, I mean, look, it's a 2-run game, so it's not as if this is a blowout in the late stages. The re-entry guy for the National League is Ben Zobrist. For the AL, it is Xander Bogaerts. Marte whacks one into right, line drive, base hit. And picking it up on a bounce out there is the new right fielder Michael Saunders, who took over for Carlos Beltran. So Bogaerts for the AL, Zobrist for the NL. Those are the 2 guys that can come back in the game, in case you're wondering.
And how about this? Go ahead run now at the plate, and a man who was in the home run derby yesterday.
Adam Duvall up here. The pitch. And that's in for a strike at 96 miles an hour. You got Lucroy at second. Marte at first. Marte's the tying run. AL up 4-2, but the NL threatening. The pitch. And that's a little bit low.
There's a familiar battery. Matt Wieters, Andrew Miller.
They know each other well. Well enough. The 1-1 is high. Andrew Miller took him a while to figure it out. A first-round pick out of North Carolina by the Tigers. Went to the Marlins. The 2-1. Yeah, that's a little high. And again, as they say, most relievers are just failed starters. And for Miller, he's not an exception to that because he was never able to settle in as a starting pitcher. But he is elite out of the pen. The next pitch is in for a strike. And a count 3-2.
Runners will be going on this. 2 out, 3-2 count.
So here we go. Payoff pitch. Swing and a chopper foul at third. Past Tim Tuffle, the third base coach. Tom Goodwin coaching down there at first. Alex Cora told me a story that the reason he hit Kurt Schilling so well in his career was because Tom Goodwin showed him how Schill was tipping his pitches. The pitch, swinging a ground ball, foul to third. Said he had like 10 at-bats against him, and he did nothing. And then Goody, as he's called, said, you can't see it, he's tipping his pitches. And then
he went to work.
He went to work on Schill. The pitch. Swing and a ball popped up, and that one fouled back at the plate. Wieters tosses the mask and watches that drop down about 6 rows in back of home plate. Hang on, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8 rows. I didn't use my hands that time. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. There you go. Okay. 8. 3-2 down. First and second, 2 down. Payoff pitch. Outside, ball 4. They are loaded. How about that? And Aledmys Diaz is going to get a chance to hit. Right here, we'll pause 10 seconds. Station ID, you're listening to the 2016 MLB All Star Game on ESPN Radio and the ESPN app. The 17 hits in a game have occurred within the first 3 pitches of the plate appearance. So getting after it early in the plate appearance. So here's Diaz. And the pitch. Yeah, that's down and away. Aledmys Diaz, a .315 average, 13 homers, excellent OBP at .380. Harris, meanwhile, a 1.62 ERA. And a pitch. Yeah, that's a strike on the outside corner. And Diaz didn't like the call, and it's fun. I mean, you get to the All-Star game, and we're in San Diego, so this is a National League crowd, and they didn't like the call.
That's right. This is a dangerous man at the plate. We've seen him some this year.
The 1-1. Swinging a foul ball. And the count 1-2. It's Lucroy at third. Marte at second. And Duvall, the runner, at first. 4-2 AL top 8.
What's impressed me the most about Aledmys Diaz this year is it seems like everything is hit hard.
Harris a 1-2. Check swing and a ball in the dirt. Now they appeal to first. Didn't go. Kerwin Danley on the call as Wieters did well on a pitch in the dirt to stop it. 4 runs, 8 hits, and an error for the AL. They've left 7. 2, 9, and 1 for the NL. They've left 7. They're all loaded up right here. And Diaz trying to do some damage with 2 outs. The 2-2 pitch. Too high. Daniel Murphy lurking in the on-deck circle. He would be next if Diaz can reach and extend the inning.
Tell you what, Diaz right here with one swing can just rip the MVP trophy out of the hands of Eric Hosmer.
This is true. Harris sets, fires. Outside corner, got him looking. Diaz throws in, and Harris gets the strikeout. And the National League leaves them loaded for the American League. And it's Murphy, Goldschmidt, and Arenado scheduled in the ninth. But first things first, here's Miggy. Cabrera, not a starter this year.
Yeah, this is a real strange sight for Miguel Cabrera to be in an All-Star game and only presumably going to get 1 at bat.
Yep. The pitch, Rodney. And he fires outside. 93 with that fastball. Miguel Cabrera, 33 years old, from Venezuela. And a pitch. And that's a little high. Won the batting title last year, and he's also won it 3 times prior to that. A 2-time MVP and an All-Star for the 11th time. The 2-0 is cut on and missed. He's another guy who's smart and fun, engages the fans. He's playful.
Now just remember, the at-bat for Miguel Cabrera really doesn't start until he gets 2 strikes.
The 2-1. Swinging a foul tip into the mitt of Lucroy, and the at-bat has started. AL leading 4-2 bottom 8. Nobody on, nobody out. Rodney on for the NL. And delivers. Outside corner, got him looking. And Cabrera is gone. So Rodney gets the strikeout. And that one ran back over the outside edge. More Major League Baseball coming your way on ESPN Radio. July 16th and 17th, Saturday and Sunday. The Red Sox and the Yankees on Saturday. Pregame coverage at 3 Eastern. Sunday, our pregame coverage starts at 7 Eastern time. Well, here is Michael Saunders. And the first offer to him misses downstairs. Saunders with 16 homers. But 3 of them in 1 game. The pitch. Swing and a ball popped in the air on the infield. And Arenado near second base makes the catch. They had the shift on, so the third baseman is able to make the grab, and there's 2 down.
And that's a little more trouble than it sounded, but it gets twilight here in San Diego, and so you don't have a real good backdrop when that ball goes up. Time of the evening where you really have to communicate and let your teammate know if you've got it or if you don't see it.
Fernando Rodney being taken out of the game. Murphy, Goldschmidt, and Arenado for the National League side. So Wieters up to the plate. Matt, who came on defensively in the 6th and then batting in the bottom of the 6th, struck out. And Jansen ready to go. National League with the edge in the hit column 9-8, but the AL leads it. It is 4-2. Bottom 8 with 2 outs. And the base is clear. Here's the pitch. Swing and a miss.
This is a guy that can let it eat. And Kenley Jansen, that cutter, man. It's like Pac-Man, just eating up all the little dots. Just eats up the inside quarter of the plate and then starts to gobble up the bat.
The 0-1 is lined softly the other way and foul. It's hard to believe, and I'm saying this with Matt Wieters at the plate, who is a big human, but it is hard to believe when you stand next to Kenley Jansen that he was a catcher. But he was. He was a catcher in the Dodger organization. I did the World Baseball Classic when he caught in the WBC for the Netherlands.
Got to get the high strike with him behind the...
In the NL 9th. 4-2 game, American League on top. NL led 1-0 on a Bryant first inning homer. Hosmer and Perez hitting homers. For Hosmer, a solo blast, then an RBI single from Hosmer later in the game to make it 4-1. And a Marte RBI single, or I beg your pardon, a RBI single from Ozuna to make it 4-2, and that's where we are. First pitch, a strike to Daniel Murphy as Britton comes, sets and fires. And that's in for a strike. This guy's got nasty stuff. He's changed a bit as a pitcher in terms of he's amped up the strikeout rate. He used to be a guy that got a lot more contact with that sinker, even though he was throwing hard. Here's the pitch. Yeah, that's down low. 97 with that last fastball.
Yeah, and it's a heavy sink to it. And you look at him, 6'3", 195. A little bit taller than what you kind of expect. Sometimes it's easy to think of Billy Wagner, left-handed closer, but Wagner wasn't as tall as Zach Britton.
The 1-2 is fouled off Murphy's foot. No, absolutely. Britton's got some more size. Billy, body-wise, is a lot more in line with Craig Kimbrell. Murphy 1 out of 2 with a single in this one. Left-hand hitter waits. Britton a 1-2. Fouled off to the right. And Mike Jerschley, the Royals coach, grabs it, tosses it to a young fan.
Britton's got a pretty easy 98 going. I mean, he looks effortless out there, 98 miles per hour, and as we mentioned, that heavy sink. Opponent's batting average is just minuscule.
The 1-2, a little high.
He's looking at his splits, and lefties hitting 143 this year, and righties a whopping 165.
Murphy right on top of that plate on that left side. The 2-2. And it's fouled off at the dish. It's one of the adjustments that Murphy made. As he got closer to the plate. Did we just hear Murphy say if he comes back?
I said throw that one out of here. That ball he just fouled off because I don't want to hit that one again. I guess it was so nasty, the movement it had on it. He said something must be wrong with that baseball.
The 2-2. Swing and a ground ball and a base hit up the middle. Just reached out and carved it to the right of second base for a single. And that'll bring the tying run to the plate and Paul Goldschmidt. Murphy with his second hit. And look, the power numbers are up, Chris, but that guy can swing it.
Yeah, he's really taken it to another level. When we look at what he started in October last year under the lights and the pressure and the biggest stage that he's ever been on, and then building off of that in 2016. We've always known that he's a good hitter, but it seems like he's moving to another level in terms of just his craft and having a mastery of it.
First one to Goldschmidt is in for a strike. A little 97 on the inside edge. Strike one. Goldschmidt 0 for 2 in the game. Britton comes set. Small lead. Murphy at first. The pitch. And that's down and in. In the outfield, left to right, Trumbo, Desmond, and Saunders. Backed up on the left side, Donaldson and Lindor. Nunez at second, and Cabrera holding Murphy on. There's a swing and a miss from Goldschmidt. And the count is 1-2. Lefty ready. Britton kicks, fires. And that's fouled off of the plate. Goldschmidt, couple of practice swings. Murphy at first, nobody out. Britton sets, about chest high, and fires. Swing and a tapper back to the mound. Britton gloves, goes to second one. Nunez to first, safe at first. Britton really took his time making sure that he got Murphy at second, and Nunez just didn't have a great opportunity to turn that one.
The way that Zach Britton spun once he got the ball, instead of spinning glove side so that naturally you'd unload the baseball, he went the opposite direction, set his feet, and that's what added the extra time to it.
One down, and with a man at first, here's Nolan Arenado. Arenado 0 for 2. AL leading 4-2, trying to make it 4 straight All-Star wins. And 16 out of 20 to pitch. Is in for a strike. Arenado at 287, 23 home runs. Goldschmidt edging away at first. Here's the 0-1. Swing and a bouncer towards third. Donaldson gloves. Goes to Nunez at second one. Return to first. And that's a double play. That is the ball game. The American League wins it 4-2, the final score. And the AL has won 4 in a row.
And the dominance continues on the side of the American League. Looked like the National League was jump out of the gate with the home run in the first inning Chris Bryant had off of Chris Sale, but the AL settled in, put up a nice little 3 spot on the National League in the second inning, and that's pretty much all they needed. Good solid pitching came after that as well.
Well, again, the American League has been the better league, and in the overall tonight, we lamented at the beginning, just a little bit unfortunate. It's not always going to match up. But to me, in terms of this matchup, really would have been cool for there to have been a Kershaw available, a Syndergaard available, a Strasburg available, and coupling that group with a Bumgarner as well. That would have been pretty electrifying here tonight.
Yeah, and we didn't see Jake Arrieta. I mean, there's some names that perhaps could have prevented that 3 spot that we see in the second inning. But you take nothing away from the American League. It was a great all-star game tonight. Tremendous home run derby last night. And I think there are a lot of positives to take away from this game. And one of those positives, Boog, is the just massive amount, it seems, of young talent in the major leagues. And so many players, 25 or under. You look up and down both rosters, and particularly on the American League side, and we saw on the starters. You can look at the infield for the Cubs that was there for the National League tonight as well. But there's just so much to be excited about in this game for sure. Great players, but then also some really great young human beings.
Can we come back to San Diego? Because I would like to come back to San Diego.
Let's do it. Let's sign the deal right now.
Kluber the winner. Cueto takes the loss, and Britton with the save. Yeah, the time of this one, 3 hours and 5 minutes. This was a lot of fun out here as the folks in San Diego did a great job hosting the 2016 All-Star festivities. Let's go downstairs, and we're joined by Tim Kirkjian.
I'm with Sal Perez. Sal, the Royals drove in all the runs for the American League tonight. What does that tell you about Kansas City?
That's unbelievable, you know. And we just come in here to doing our job and try to doing the best we can do, you know.
You hit a home run off of Johnny Cueto, who you caught last year for the last couple of months. What was that like for you?
Yeah, nice guy, you know, and when the game